Still on same-sex marriage or marriage equality, it is, after all, the biggest news of the day now. This is important for us Filipinos, for the immigrant community, because this has an effect on immigration. And we're going to be breaking that down right about now sa ating American Dream segment.
American Dream segment is brought to you by Aquino & Lowe Law Firm, answering your immigration questions.
Attorney Allison Aquino, everyone is celebrating. Well, of course, most of the supporters of same-sex marriage, marriage equality. Okay, what is going on and how does it tie into immigration?
Janelle, this is such a historic day for the LGBT community, and I'm so proud to be here to be able to talk about it, because this absolutely changes the way that the immigration works and the benefits that same-sex couples are going to be allowed to obtain with respect to immigration.
All right, there's two issues that the Supreme Court was expected to rule on. Number one is DOMA, which is more important, you're saying, because it's federal. Can you explain to us that issue?
Exactly. So the two court cases, the first one is U.S. v. Windsor, and that specifically deals with the DOMA provision. And so under the Defense of Marriage Act, which has been ruled unconstitutional by the court, before, immigration could not provide same-sex couples with immigration benefits because of DOMA. Now that DOMA has been struck down, under the immigration, now that it's been struck down, plain and simple, same-sex couples will and should and will be eligible to petition their husbands, their spouses for immigration benefits, just like heterosexual couples.
And
that's it in a nutshell.
Okay, we're going to have more questions about that, because in the process, priority dates and all that, and when can they actually start filing for petition. And now, there is a little bit of confusion, and I talked a little bit about that with Bonnie earlier, in that the Supreme Court refused to rule on Prop 8 per se. And can you tell us more about that?
Absolutely. And so in order to clarify how the two cases work together, the California case in particular dealt with the ability of same-sex couples to get married here in the state of California.
Yes.
And so what the Supreme Court ruled was that the individuals who brought up the appeal to the Supreme Court had no legal standing, or in essence, no authority to bring up that appeal before the Supreme Court. And so the court did not specifically rule that Prop 8 was constitutional or unconstitutional. What they did was simply rule that it shouldn't have been brought up to them. They didn't have proper jurisdiction. And so with that ruling, it essentially reinstates the lower court's ruling, which specifically stated that Prop 8 is unconstitutional.
Okay.
And so the way that the two law cases work together is that with the California case and Prop 8, very soon, individuals can start getting married again in California.
Okay, and even without that Prop 8 ruling, same-sex couples can now get married in the 13, was it 13?
Exactly.
13 states that allow for same-sex marriages, and then come back to California, live here, and get the benefits from DOMA.
Exactly.
All right.
But the beauty is people in California benefit from the California case as well. And so once marriages can take place in California, individuals will be eligible to get married in California. 12 other states, as you point out, have same-sex marriages that are legal and valid. And in the 13 states throughout the U.S., immigration will be eligible to provide benefits to individuals who are in same-sex couples.
Okay.
And not to mention, there are also countries outside of the United States.
Right. And immigration will also honor that.
Exactly.
All right. Okay, so now some of the questions, and this just deals with technicality. I guess the first question people are asking is, how soon can they file for petitions?
Well, naturally with anything, it takes a little time and a little bit of process. But I would argue that people can start immediately, because this is simply a reinterpretation of the law. And although there still has to be procedures on how immigration needs to process the petitions, I would say this is something that people can move forward with today.
Then it means everything that heterosexual couples have in terms of immigration will be accorded same-sex couples as well. So if I had a girlfriend and I wanted to marry my girlfriend and she had kids, prior children, I can also petition the children.
Precisely.
Okay. And adopting and petitioning for adopted children of same-sex couples?
Everything the same, the way that it should be.
All right. What about same rules for fiancé petition? So everything. So that's blanket.
Exactly.
Okay.
And so and this has been a big problem because and individuals know how difficult it is to get tourist visas even to come into the United States. And so you have an estimated 36,000 binational couples who are going to be affected by this.
Okay.
And so it is now their chance to live together as a family, to not be discriminated against, and to have all the same rights and benefits accorded all other heterosexual couples.
What about priority dates? Will they fall under just one category, not discriminating whether they're heterosexual or same-sex?
Correct. They're going to fall into the immediate relative category, and so they will be processed as far as processing is concerned. They can immediately apply for work permits, advanced parole documents, eventually obtain their green cards, and as you point out, petition stepchildren, and it's a cycle that should have happened long ago, but thankfully today is a historic day.
All right, the long wait is over, and don't delay any more information on the screen. If you want to schedule your consultation with Aquino and Lowe, they will help you, and they will explain everything to you, some of your options for immigration. Now, same-sex couples can petition each other. Thank you. More power to you.
Thank you, Janelle.
Back more in Kababayan today. Don't go away.